There are so many videos out there that are put out by experts, and I would encourage you to watch those videos because this is not a how to can peaches, but what they lack is that they don't necessarily know the questions that a beginner canner has because they are so experienced. So I wanted to come here and tell you everything that I did wrong and some things I did right, but all the questions that I had as somebody who's completely new to canning, have no idea what I was doing. Hi, welcome to Mama's Little Homestead. Our family is trying to develop our 1/3 acre property into growing as much food as we can to be as self-sustainable as we can on this size land. We've been here for about 3 years, and this is the first year that I have attempted canning. And I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about canning peaches because I took on the crazy task of canning 100 pounds of peaches because that's who I am. I thought it would be easier to learn something by doing it repetitively over and over again rather than doing a smaller amount and having more space between them. That just was an easier way for me to learn. And it was also a great way for me to make a lot of mistakes. So I hope that by sharing my mistakes and questions as a completely beginning canner might help you as you start your canning journey. There's just so much to learn with canning, and it's hard to know sometimes whether a certain practice is a safety practice. Is this something that I must do, or is this just for the flavor or the look of it? So there's just so much to learn, and I would love to hear from you if you have more experience canning, or if you see a mistake that I'm making that I did not catch, let me know. I just love the community here on YouTube and being able to share what we know and help each other along the way. And I love seeing people in progress. I love seeing what they're doing at certain times of the year. And so that's something that I hope to do here on this channel, is to just share whatever it is that we're doing at whatever time of year, so that people can understand what they're getting into if they want to start homesteading, or just what they can do more in their garden in certain times of year. So I hope you'll subscribe and follow along with our journey.
Now for my mistakes. Number one, the peaches weren't ripe, which wasn't really a problem, except we just had to wait a few days and we had to set them on the counter like this, and we lost a few definitely to little hands and doggy teeth. Number two, the type of syrup. The canning recipe called for medium or light syrup, and I did an extra light syrup. I actually don't know if this is a mistake or not, but I've seen a lot of people do it online, which doesn't mean it's safe or okay. So if you know if it's okay to can the peaches for safety reasons in extra light syrup, let me know. As far as everything I read, it said the sugar was just to preserve the flavor and texture, and so I don't think it's there for safety reasons. Number three, there's no lemon juice in these, which I don't think is a problem. The recipe didn't call for lemon juice, it called for ball produce preserver, which I read was not for safety, but again, just for aesthetics and flavor and taste, so we didn't add that. Number four, I overflowed the water bath. So I put all the cans inside. I filled the canner with water to cover the tops of the jars, which you're supposed to do. But what I didn't count on is when they were filled with the peaches and the syrup, they actually displaced a lot more water. So as I was putting them in full, the water started to overflow and I had to bail it out into the sink. My next mistake was not processing enough for a full batch at a time. The recipe I was following said to fill the jars and put them directly into the boiling water, which would have been fine if I didn't run out of peaches that were ready to fill the jars. So some of them ended up processing way longer and probably affected the flavor and the texture of the finished product. Next up is blanching the peaches. That's not a mistake, but I couldn't actually figure out how to blanch them well. Some of them worked out beautifully, but most of them I just ended up peeling by hand. I still blanched them all because blanching did make them easier to peel, but I used a peeler for the majority of these peaches, which got really exhausting. I did wipe the rim of all the jars before putting the lids on, but that's another beginner mistake that might happen to you if you don't know that that's what you're supposed to do. I also underestimated the amount of time this would take and how many jars I would need. And I did end up filling a few jars too full. For the first batch, I thought that they didn't seal, so I actually opened them up before the waited time, and then they eventually sealed themselves in that 12-hour wait period. So if you want to check the seal if you're tempted, just wait the 12 hours because you probably did fine, they probably will seal.
Every single one of the jars sealed. I am so excited.
My worst mistake was with this peach butter. I used apple cider vinegar instead of lemon juice. You can sub lemon juice for vinegar, but not the other way around because it is not acidic enough. It still turned out absolutely delicious. We just had to end up putting it in the freezer because it is not shelf stable.
At my final count, we ended up with 49 quarts of peaches, 20 pints of spiced peach butter, 1 peach cobbler, which was delicious, 1 quart of peach syrup. Learning a new skill can be really nerve-wracking. It takes a lot of patience with yourself because you have to make mistakes a lot of times in order to learn. And actually, mistakes are some of the best teachers that we have. So we just have to learn to develop a tolerance for them. So if you are thinking of canning, I really hope this has encouraged you to just jump right in. It is so much fun. I feel so accomplished. I love seeing all of these new foods in our pantry, and I'm really excited for the future of our canning journey. I was really intimidated to start. I thought I was going to give my whole family botulism. I was just really nervous about it. And now that I've done it, I can see that it's going to be really amazing for our family, and I am so excited. So I hope this gives you a similar feeling of like, I can do this, and let me know what you are going to can down below in the comments. And please do subscribe and be part of our family's journey with us. Thanks for watching.